Okay, at the weekend, a friend asked me for some advice about file naming and filing generally, her image files with a view to becoming a little bit more proficient at Lightroom. She wants to use Lightroom but is a little bit frightened of it at the moment. And when we looked at her hard drives, her files were spread over quite a number of different drives and they were using lots of different naming and filing procedures. So really what I emphasised was that one of the first things you need to do, whatever editing program you're going to use, whether it is going to be Lightroom or Photoshop or whatever, is to actually be very rigorous in your downloading, filing and renaming procedures. What I've started to do after finding out what other photographers do and learning from my experience over the years is that each year has a folder: 2013, 2014, 2016, etc, etc, etc. Within that folder I create a template folder, and this is labelled 2016-00-00 template. Within that folder are a set of other folders. One is for my original files, NEFs, RAWs, Canon RAWs, whatever you want. One for camera JPEGs, and then there's a variety of other folders here which are for various things that fit my particular workflow. Some of these actually don't get used really very much these days, but they're there. So I've got in from a shoot, I'm ready to download. I've taken the memory card out of the camera, I've popped it into the card reader, and the files are all here. So the next stage is to create a folder for this particular shoot. So I'm navigating back to my image files folder, then to my 2016 images folder. I'm going to take the template, copy it, paste it, and then rename it to reflect the event. So in this particular case it's going to be 2016-05 for May, -06 for today, and it will be download movie. Click save and it automatically pops to the end. So if you look here, we've got everything arranged in date order from the very 1st of January right through to this latest event, which will be on the 6th of May. So everything is downloaded and it's in the originals file folder. You can see them all there, still with the names that are generated from my camera. I've got two bodies I shoot with regularly, and I use a procedure inside the bodies, JF2 underscore sequence and JF1 underscore sequence. That immediately tells me which camera it's come from, so just in case we start having any issues with the files from any particular camera, I can always work out which camera is causing me issues. So everything is down there. I've controlled, by using copy and paste through Windows Explorer, I've controlled exactly where the images are going to go because I want to know where they are. I don't want Lightroom controlling that. I don't want any camera manufacturer software such as Nikon Capture or whatever controlling it and putting them somewhere. I want to know exactly where I've put my images for all sorts of reasons. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to open up Lightroom, and if we just hit a little tab there, this will take us back to seeing everything that's around. We're in the library mode. We're going to import and we're going to select our source. Now the memory card is still in the card reader, so that is showing up here. Don't import from that or your images will be duplicated. Go to where your images have been already downloaded to. So in my case this is data volume, which is drive E, and it's under pictures, image files, 2016 images, and if we were working with today's it would be 2016-05-06 download movie. But we've not put anything into that yet, so I'm just going to go back to the previous day's one, which is called 2016-05-05 Green Party event. There are all the images. These haven't yet been downloaded to imported into Lightroom, but we're going to do that now. One thing my friend was doing was she was using this default setting, which is copy as DNG. And what that does, it doesn't just import your files into Lightroom, but it actually creates a copy of it, changing it into a DNG file, creating a DNG, I'll start that again. It creates a .dng, which is digital negative something or other, and pops it in a different location. You don't want to do that. Nor do you want to copy, nor do you want to move, because otherwise that lovely beautiful folder structure that we were talking about earlier is negated, and Lightroom puts the images where it wants to put them. So all you want to do is add the images to your Lightroom catalogue. So we're just going to click add. We're going to select one-to-one previews. I've got my own copyright thing, which I add into every single image as it's imported. So we now just hit import. And this is quite a small folder, so they're just going to zip through fairly quickly. I hope you can see the very handsome Stuart Lane there, looking very effective and authoritative. We'll ignore that bit though. Okay, there they all are. They're all imported. Lightroom is now building the one-to-one previews, but before we do that, we can actually start going through and doing things if we so want. I'm going to right-click that one, open in loop, and by using the cursor keys, we can go through and we can have a look at all the images. And we can start deciding which ones we want to keep and which ones we don't want to keep. So let's just go back to the beginning for a moment. So I'm going to, using the keyboard, I'm going to pop an X against that one. I'm going to pop an X against that one. I'm going to pop an X, an X, an X, an X. What I'm doing first of all at this stage is just getting rid of the ones that are just rubbish and that ain't going to be used in any way whatsoever. Well, that's a bit off there, isn't it? Let's get rid of that one. Okay, so now what we can do is just go to Edit, select by flag, select the rejecteds, because that's what we were doing, and then right click on one of the images and select remove photos. Delete from disk gets rid of those files full stop. It removes them not only from Lightroom but also from your hard drive, because in the past I've ended up with so many rubbish files cluttering up my hard drive and I do not want that to happen. Okay, so delete from disk gets rid of them. Bing! They've gone. Okay, the next stage that I'm going to do is go to Library and go to Rename Photos. And in there you'll find all sorts of different ways of doing it. What I've selected and have set up as a preset is something called GFP Renaming, Jerry Fenner Photography Renaming. And I've set this up as JFP _ then the date, so 2016-0505 _ and then a sequence number. And this particular naming structure means that every single image has a totally, completely, absolutely unique name. There will never ever be any duplication. Within the name as well, I am identified in there, the date of the image is identified in there, and then the sequence number is fine. Doing the date in this order, year, month, day, is the very, very best way of putting things into a logical order. If you start with day first, anywhere in your structures, everything will come under, everything that was shot on the first of the month will come up as 01, blah, blah, blah. So all your first of the month pictures will all be together. Your second of the month pictures will all be together. Well, that is not what you want to do. What you want to do really is have all the images from a particular event together in one place. If you shoot 2 or more events on one day, you can, after you've done the first import, change the start number up here. Okay, but this was one shoot for the day, so we're just going to do that. Okay, I'm going to deselect the images by pressing Ctrl D, and now we're just going to have a quick look again at the pictures. They're all looking nice and big, and what we're going to do this time is scroll through them all. And we're just going to flag them with P. P for pick. No, change that one, so we're just going to press U for unflag, unselect. Let's do that one. Let's do that one. And that one. Let's do that one. Okay. So we've rejected the absolute duffers, we've renamed the rest, we've looked again and selected the ones we think we're going to work on. If we now go to the filter section down here and just pick the flags, all we can see are the ones we want to work on. So at that stage we can then move into the develop mode up there and do whatever edits we feel are necessary to produce the finished products, the images that we want to see. I'll finish at that point, and I'll finish with the final comment, which is that in Lightroom your original files stay as your original files. Any changes that I'm about to make as I edit these images will be saved as little sidecar files stored alongside your image file, and those edits will only actually be actioned when I choose to export the image as a finished product. So for example, if I'm now going to export these for use on the web, which is their most likely output, then my output settings will be applied, and then any little contrast changes, cropping changes, etc. will be applied at that point, and they will be sent off and stored in a location of my choosing, which might be with the originals in a separate folder in that folder labelled 2016-05-05 Green Party event, or it might be somewhere else. Your workflow will dictate different ways of doing things, but I think I will finish at that point. So get on there and enjoy Lightroom. It's brilliant.